Hey there! How is your April going? Oh my gosh, sorry I missed you last month. We were in the middle of a move from town to countryside, so here we are. This is Jeannie Blaha, Take a Walk with Your Angels and JoyFlames.com, back with you for March and April. Why not just cover them all? So February, if you remember, we were talking forgiveness, especially forgiveness of self. And what does that mean, and where can that take you, and why is it so essential to forgive yourself? So one of the things that came to the attention of the collective, I've had this coming in through visions and dreams, and then also human beings here in form who have said, I cannot believe how much I unlocked my life by forgiving. Forgiving people, forgiving myself for places and things and statements and words and actions and gestures that I've done over my lifetime that I just held as so shameful and so full of guilt. And from that, I didn't realize how much I had held myself in the past. Well, as you know from a lot of our quantum leaping, if we get stuck in the past, there is no possible way that we can move forward. And the quantum leaping has to do with jumping from your current reality into that desired reality, drawing in all of this information, this messaging that's coming in from your angels and guides and your loved ones who have passed, receiving all of the assistance that you desire in that desired reality and jumping it back to your now. Well, what happens if you are stuck in unforgiveness mode towards others, towards yourself? You are not going to be able to jump into this desired reality because that's locking you into those old frequency states and vibrational states as well. So you might have found, if you decided, I'm going to do this, I'm dumping anywhere where I have held myself in unforgiveness, maybe I don't even know some of the areas that I've done that, and maybe some areas started to crop up and you thought, oh my gosh, where did this come from? I don't even remember that I did that at 17, at 8, at 23, or whatever the age might have been, and you're thinking, gosh, I held on to this whole time. And as a result, I couldn't necessarily have the perspective that I want today in order to land this desired reality because I was still stuck in this whole place back here saying there's no possible way that I could ever deserve that because I'm back there saying I'm not worth it. There's no possible way that I can have that much value connected to my purpose, to my career, to my business, to my family, to myself, to my connection to myself with my family, and etc. So what did you do in February if you were doing this and saying, I don't know where I'm holding myself in forgiveness, but I feel really stuck and it is holding me back, and I'm just going to dump it all. I'm just going to dump the unforgiveness, dump it, jump and back into this now with that feeling of freedom, that sense of the unshackling. So what happened in March with that then? Did you notice that all of a sudden you were given opportunities that you had never expected in your life, that you had options coming in, maybe not always shrouded in really lovely light ways, but in other ways that were kind of like a thrust into your desired reality of something that you got kicked out of your current reality that said that, you know what, that's not serving you, that's not even what you want. In fact, you even declared, I do not want to live that anymore. I can't stand this. I am going to die if I continue to do it this way. A lot of people in the collective had this messaging coming in through their channels. I could hear it. And many, many millions of people were saying, I cannot live this way anymore. I cannot take this anymore. So what happens then coming into April from that? Well, something occurred in the world at a very worldwide scale, and everybody's looking at it and feeling, well, what is this for? Well, imagine if you have millions of people, actually billions, saying, I cannot live like this anymore. I cannot live in a world that's heartless. I cannot live in a world that's so at disconnect, that are so asleep, that are accepting these rules and regulations on who we become, what we live, what kind of success we get to live, whatever that looks like personally to each one of us. So throughout this March piece, weaving into April, where all of this threshing out, it felt like sickness maybe. It felt like a virus. It could have felt like it was very contagious because a lot of people were feeling it off each other too and saying, is that my stuff? Is that other person's stuff? Why do I feel just gross right now? And then through that, many people made the decision, like, I have to face this. I have to really get in touch with, where do I feel so unsafe that I can't live my dreams? Where do I have myself in a place of lacking that sense of safety? How far back does it go to where I'm accepting living a life I don't even want? It's not my life. It's the life of my parent or my mentor and a teacher or an adult person that came along the way and said, you can't do that thing that you really desire. You can't do that. You don't have the intelligence. You don't have the experience, you don't have the degrees, you don't have the schooling, you don't have this, you're not that, you're not black, 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 black. Well, in March, you decided that was enough. And through this screaming out from the collective of saying, I will not deal with this, I'm not going to be at this much lack of presence with my children because I'm running my butt off between jobs and trying to get to here and to there, and I see them for an hour of the day, and I think I'm going to have such a great influence on my children when I can barely say, how was your day? Okay, good night, sweet dreams. And that was that. We weave into April. People got moved a bit out of that panic mode of something was enforced sort of upon the collective to say, guess what? You can't leave your family right now. You have to stay with your family. You have to be connecting. You have to be present. The things that you're so accustomed to doing, everything that you knew up until this point perhaps, no longer serves. And you can't even do it. You're orchestrated right out of it. It's been uncreated for you. How many people have had this experience now moving into April saying, holy cow, I never knew that being here in my form could be so fun, that I could get this creative, that I could have these innovative ideas, that I could be this inspired to live some of my gifts that I had shelved since I was 2 or 7, that somebody had said along the way, you know what do you think? You're not going to make money at that. You better go get this, or you better go get this certification or degree or whatever that had nothing to do with your purpose. Guess what's happening in April? So many people, the guides, the angels, everybody's talking about how this is our opportunity as humanity. This is probably the largest experience we will ever have on the Earth planet. So guess what? Face our fears, walk through them, and say, doesn't matter what anyone has said to you up until this point, you will live your dreams. You will live in the reality you desire. You will be healthy if you choose to be healthy. You will decide what's not working for you. Or if something is disabling your whole health, you're going to kick it out and say, I'm just not going to do that anymore. I like feeling good. I deserve to feel good. I like being able to walk out the door and smell things again, and to see and hear things, and my children, I can be connected to them in a way that's not, don't do that, you're going to get hurt, caution, caution, fear, fear, fear. And instead, like, good job. Look at what you've created. Let's go create something together today. So April is this momentum now. The momentum is in place. The fear, the panic, the sense of my life is going to end if I don't have that type of income, or if I don't have that particular job, and all of a sudden the questions become, wait a minute, if it was something that I hated so much, why the heck was I hanging on to it so hard? What if all of the collective is decided to hand over the reins to say, you know what, universe, we're ready. We are ready to live our bliss. We are ready to feel good. We are ready to kick out the stuff that doesn't feel good and no longer let it control us. Whether it's a pill, booze, pot, whatever you want to, it could be anything, another voice coming in, it could be anything that's taking control over your joy, where you've got your power projected outside of yourself. And you've said all these years, I had no idea that this thing out here had my power, and I'm not going to let that happen anymore. April 2020, you will never forget it because the momentum is so acute now. It is so on high as far as you being able to be said yes, yes, yes. Things are saying yes to you. Why? Because you are saying yes to you. You're saying, I can do it. I'm going to be me. From here on out, I'm not going to let myself get talked out of my heart, out of my purpose, out of my children's lives. Don't let yourself get talked out of your children's lives or your senior elderly family members who are really wanting to be connected to you. Guess what? Those doors are all open. Keep the momentum on. Don't fall. See? Goes right through the throat chakra when that happens. Don't fall for these choked up voices of others, full of fear, full of panic. Don't fall for it. Stay on top of your truth as far as that gut feeling of like, wow, this power is really strong and I am being supported and I am being assisted in this and I can move forward. And I can dump off all this stuff around me that says can't, won't, lack, sickness, dying, being ill forever, being out of your own power. Dump it. April 2020, do it. Just embrace it all, and you will be continuing to see the momentum going with you. You will feel that chi, that life force energy moving with you, not against you. It was never against you. You were against you. So get ready. This is going to be a wild year from now on. you're going to see it. One more thing, they're bringing it in right now. They're saying remind people that they're feeling that they might be in two different worlds at one time right now. Two different worlds that are sort of concurrent, sort of intertwined, sort of not at all. Having one foot in one way and another foot, or maybe just a finger left in the old world, where you're saying, oh my gosh, I had no idea what I was accepting up until this time, or thinking that I had to accept, or I had to be okay with that. And the old world, it's splitting. You're probably going to feel like these worlds are splitting apart. Fear, 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 and a lot of love building. A lot of love building. So put your energy where you want it to go to create this desired reality from your current reality, and keep going there. Let nothing stop you. If you stay on top of it, if you stay really in your grounded state with it and embodying it, and you don't let anybody take you out of it, you will keep going. And you will look back on 2020 as the year that you launched yourself in your form, in the earth plane. You got to fly as a human person in a form. Love you lots. This is Jeannie Blaha. Check out takeawalkwithyourangels.com. Book a reading with me if you need very specific assistance to help you keep this momentum going. I understand it can be really coming at you, where you feel like you're losing the momentum, or you're falling off track, or you're starting to believe that old world. Like maybe there's something to that old world. There's nothing to it, only what you give it. State your desire, jump into that desired reality. Every time you're jumping, you are actually collecting all of this and bringing it back to the now. Keep doing it through your meditation, or when you're out walking with your kids. Doesn't matter, you can keep jumping to your desired reality and bringing that back to your now. That's the essential piece, bring it back into now. Love you lots, take care, and we'll talk soon. Bye.